January 2023 was it set the stage for the catastrophe that was the rest of the year. That helps.
I don't know. Was this a bad year? I mean, there was pretty worse ones recently.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, we weren't locked down.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
What a high bar, guys.
Yeah, I know, right? The government didn't shut down all of our businesses and force us to stay in our homes under pain of penalties.
I mean, a lot of people woke up to how bad the Conservatives are this year. That's
a good point. The Conservatives are about to crash and burn, which I'm quite excited about.
I suppose I'm doing spoilers technically, but I don't know.
So the good news is that everybody...
Spoilers for the year that you've just lived through.
The good news is that everybody realized there is no good news.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Okay. I got some good news later.
2023, the year everyone realized that no one's coming to save us. Okay, and if anything, things are just going to get worse. Let's start with ChatGPT, right? So, Dan and I think it was Harry. I can't remember.
Right. So let's start.
No, it was Connor.
Did a segment at the beginning of the year
against what most people believe. And Connor and I are not the same.
Yeah, but this was really interesting. He had a great clip in this of Jordan Peterson, if I can find it, which I can't. Talking about ChatGPT, right? And Jordan Peterson had put in quite a complex prompt, and the thing just instantly comes back with a really serviceable answer. And Jordan Peterson's like, "Oh God, that means we're all doomed." And to be fair, I think he might be right. Actually, I think we are kind of all doomed. I'm a bit worried because everyone's got to remember this is just the very beginning of the AI, right? Like this is what's like now, and I keep saying this. In 10 years' time, it's going to be so much worse. Like things are going to be just fabricated that you won't know are fabricated instantly. And then they'll just be disposed of just much. So if you thought our consumer culture was bad enough as it is, like when was the last time you ever repaired a piece of clothing or something? Like anything, a movie will just be instantly generated. You watch it and then it will be completely forgotten and there'll be no human interaction in this experience. I mean, like one of the things that people always forget about is like with anything, with art, when something's, you're reading an article, when you're reading anything, the purpose is human to human transmission of information and like intent. There's a reason that a human has done this, even if that reason is evil. Like, for example, when you're reading the newspapers, there is at least a human connection going on there. But ChatGPT will completely sever all of this. The AI will sever all of this. So it will just be humans in like sensory echo chambers, just constantly getting false information, or not even false, inauthentic things sent to them. And there will come a point in time where the human beings themselves don't even recognize. Welcome to 2023. This is good news year.
I thought this wasn't. Is this an episode of our cyberpunk dystopia? What's going on?
I don't know. But this just literally.
This is old man rants about technology.
But this is
our favorite segments, actually.
Hey man,
old man yells at cybercloud.
I'm not happy with the cybercloud, and I'm going to yell at it. Right, but all I'm saying is this was the beginning of the year. So anyway, moving on. Again, not a year of white pills.
Another old man.
Yeah, look, man, there's even more hope. On the plus side, though, Peter Hitchin being right about the death of the Conservative Party is true.
Oh, he's responding to me in this screenshot.
Yes. As you can see.
About chastising you.
Yeah, but you remember this is Peter Hitchens being like, well, Britain's over. Get out while you still can before the AI overlords strap you to this.
Bloody hell, this was on New Year's Eve as well.
I know.
What a way to usher in the year, having an argument with Peter Hitchens.
A big set to with Peter Hitchens, yeah. And with Connor as well. And Peter, like, I don't want to end up like Peter Hitchens. I don't want to be in, like, 20 years' time. People being like, oh my God, I think the Conservative Party's dead. I think Britain's over. And then just be like, listen, you were warned about this slightly earlier than that. But so I do feel Pete Hitchens' frustration here.
I've been going through a lot of his books recently, and it is quite remarkable how he was predicting everything 25 years ago. So I can understand why it is that he's so burnt on these issues, because he's been going on about it for decades at this point, and only just now people are starting to listen to him when he considers it to be too late.
Yeah, because it is too late. That's why. And I love the local man loses last bit of hope he didn't even know he had meme. But that really is true, frankly.
I don't know. He's still releasing books, so he must still have a tiny bit of hope somewhere that someone will read the book and get something out of it.
I'm reasonably confident 2024 will be the year that finally crushes the last spark of human decency in Peter Hitchens. Really,
he's still got human decency.
No, he's going to be just so completely It'll literally be the hollowed out face meme, just like humanity is over.
Right, as long as he's still invited onto leftist podcasts, he can still storm out of them and give me a small bit of entertainment. And also that Channel 4 documentary that he was in, where he's in prison, the clips coming out of that I've seen have been quite nice. He still comes across like a genuinely kind person on a personal level.
I actually met the guy who was doing the interview with Peter Hitchens that he stormed out of.
Alex something.
Yeah. I met him at a Jordan Peterson event that I went to a couple of weeks ago, and he was a really nice guy. Like, I'm not saying he wasn't like an insufferable shitlib or something. I don't know. I didn't get to speak to him for long enough. I don't know what Pete Hitchens' beef with that guy actually is. But like, do you know who he is?
Yeah, I grew up watching his content. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely respected the guy. And then I just got really, really bored of him being such an academic on everything. Not
right. Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, I think the thing that finally tipped it, and I don't like him, just like a creator basis where it's like, I'm not going to watch you anymore, is he was talking about how he's traveled to every major university and spoken to every greatest religious thinker of different religions in all of England, and he's still not convinced about religion. It's like, bro, go to a war. Go to a war zone. Go do something with your life. What are you doing sitting in universities being like, I haven't found the meaning of life. So you've not done anything. Whatever.
Fair point. Like I said, I don't know what the problem with him was.
But he's just so insufferably academic. That's
right. Okay.
I could find myself also getting wound up.
He was just quite normal when I was talking to him, which was nice.
Yeah,
all I know him from is the storm out. So.
He's an utterly like reasonable person to talk to, but that's the problem.
Right.
So
okay, fair enough. But what I like about a lot of this is, at least when I was going through the January, a lot of stuff that had the seeds sown in January, we're living with the consequences now at the end of the year, right? As in, these things have, the whirlwind, the wind was sown and the whirlwind is being reaped as we speak. I mean, the Chat GPT thing, obviously, AI is just going to keep getting bigger. But the death of the Tory party, I mean, like, the Tories weren't as low in the polls as they are now then. I mean, obviously things are bad, but things have gotten worse for the Tories. And Nigel Farage wasn't like looming over them with this smug grin. He wasn't I'm a celebrity. Like that was, if someone at the beginning of the year had been like, yeah, you know what, right? Basically, the Tories will be like, God, Nigel Farage will save us after he comes out of the jungle and I'm a celebrity. I'd be like, what are you talking about? There's no way Farage is joining the Tories. There's no way he's getting on I'm a celebrity. And lo and behold, here we are. So at least it's a time of change and certain inevitabilities. And
I desperately don't want English politicians' chances of electoral success in the future to be determined by how many, I don't know, kangaroo cocks that they've gobbled up on I'm a Celebrity.
For you, Harry. Because that's literally inside that of the Labour Party.
We're already a joke of a country as it is. Come on, these people are going to have to be like. These people are going to
Harry be like, I don't want a better form of government.
These people are going to have to be negotiating.
Have to eat animal anus.
These people are going to have to be negotiating geopolitics with like ambassadors and foreign countries.
Callum's got a point.
And these people are going to be able to immediately go to footage of them gobbling up animal anuses.
No, Callum's got a point here, actually. The ritual humiliation of politicians might actually become a normal and desirable feature of political life.
Yeah, but only in Britain.
Yeah.
But we're already a joke on the world stage.
I don't care about the world stage. I just want to know that every single person who's raising my taxes has had to eat horse things. And worse. So, I might only be reduced to my beans on toast. But at least I can always watch the footage over and over
is nice.
of the next Labour Party leader like grimacing as they eat something disgusting. So that's all I'm saying. Moving on. Prince Harry was not doing great.
Got punched out by his brother.
Yeah.
I think they're separated at the moment.
Yeah.
At the time of recording.
Yeah, but the thing is, I recall predicting this. That she's going to humiliate him, separate him from his family, realize he's basically a withered husk, and leave him.
I mean, she was married to a human soy jack, as we can see.
He wasn't always a human soy jack.
No, he wasn't.
He used to be a total Chad.
He used to have a D in history.
Sure, but he also used to have a military uniform.
No, that's the Chad part.
Oh.
Literally, I don't care.
Oh, yeah, well,
I'm here to kill the Taliban.
Yeah, good point. But yeah, so it's quite terrible, the sad fall of Harry. But the thing is, we all knew it was going to happen. But I think it's a sad thing, watching a man get publicly ruined by a devouring wife. I think it's awful.
Not the first time it's happened.
No,
Certainly not the
absolutely
last time it's going to happen.
Utterly predictable archetype that's been going on since bloody Gaijis. Which is
Callum, I've noticed as well. Sorry, Callum's giving me the eye because there's a suggestion in the thumbnail that hasn't done a great job of hiding.
I can also see that, so we'll move on.
That's allowed on YouTube?
Well, I mean, I suppose they kind of censored it.
I guess. But there was more that month, of course, when Harry explained that actually he hates his own family. His own family is some sort of death cult. And it's like, bro, it's the royal family. There's a bit more to it than simply not realizing that you're a straight white man who's been privileged. But again, this was just part of she drags him out of the things that he knows and presumably loved, turns him against them, and now has left him.
Bye.
It's tragic. It's genuine tragedy. But this is why you don't marry American women. just kidding. Do you remember the TransMaxing Manifesto, Harry?
Yeah, I'm the one that did this segment.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was just something that I thought was funny to bring up.
It was. It's still a problem.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, it genuinely, the incel to transgender pipeline has not been resolved.
Well, that's the thing. It's sad, but there is a sick rationality to it. Because you're an incel, your life sucks, everyone hates you, your legal system and culture spits on you every single day. Fine, I'm a girl now.
Thought about transmaxing, Callum?
Yeah, I like free money.
And you don't even need to shave the beard.
Technically, no.
Technically, no, but to be fair, these incel transmaxes, as far as I can tell, are actually trying to look feminine.
I mean,
that gets them treated nicely.
I wouldn't know at a casual glance that wasn't an incel. I just wouldn't, right? So it's not that there isn't a lot of hard work and dedication put into becoming women by these people. And, stay winning. That's all I'm saying.
But it was interesting because there's the big manifesto that I think 4chan shared out because, of course, it was 4chan. And I think it was Mary Harrington and people on Unheard talking about this. And it is absurd, the fact that it confirms so much of what is supposedly the evil alt-right say about how porn can absolutely screw up your brain, because it actively recommends that if you're going to do this to yourself, there's going to be a real harsh, disgust response to you doing something so completely unnatural to yourself. So what you need to do is watch sissy hypno porn to condition yourself, into being a girl.
People like, do you use 4chan? I'm like, no.
That's getting cut.
Thank you for reminding me, Callum.
They Stape is always watching.
So anyway, this problem still exists. But there are, like you were saying, Callum, there are actually some good things that happened this year. Like, this year was not an entire washout or anything. And in fact, this year might have been like the stage set for a glorious 2024, right? Because this year was the year that the far right went properly mainstream. Now, long before, Nigel Farage was actually maybe flooding the entire country with immigrants so that there's no room for an Englishman to step foot on I'm a Celebrity happened. Coronation Street decided to create a really far right character who was radicalizing youth.
Was this the one who took the black pill?
No, possibly. I can't remember the guy's name.
Damn Zoomer haircuts.
Yeah, I know, right? There's a. I'm sure they've got some clips of it. There we go. No, this is kind of proving the point of the guy. But in Coronation Street,
we had to cut them because it's YouTube.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So in Coronation Street, this blogger and YouTuber came along to wherever the local place is and was holding community centers, being like, "Hey guys, have you considered that actually we deserve to live in a country, and actually we aren't actually being very well treated by the globalist establishment?" And they were like, "Right, that's it. He's a Nazi," and they tried to frame him as being a complete villain. But every time he was allowed to speak, the character said something true. And so all of the critique was like, okay, well, he may well be saying this, but it turns out that he also prowls the streets at night, beating up immigrant children. Because, I mean, he's saying a lot of true stuff there, and that's not good for our side. But if it turns out he beats up random immigrant kids in the night, there we go. Everything we're saying is nonsense, and you don't need to listen to him because he's just a Nazi.
What do you want to bet they wrote the script and then had to add that?
Well, yeah, they're probably sat there going,
No,
right,
they probably had to tone it down. These people are the writers of these shows are absolute maniacs who understand that their job in society is to condition normal. Who watches Coronation Street anymore?
just normies.
They have to condition normies,
And it's a rapidly shrinking.
Of those 4 or 5 people still watching Coronation
It's about
Street,
6 million, I think.
it will be 4 or 5 people. They need to be conditioned. I need to manifest
co-perceive,
this.
right?
I need to manifest this into reality. Okay, of those people watching Coronation Street, they need to be conditioned to hear people saying these things, which are otherwise factually true, and assume, okay, that means you're a Nazi.
The thing is, you can tell that they've been like, right, okay, we'll go on some far right blogs and find the list of complaints that are currently being expressed everywhere, list them out and be like, right, so that's the guy's position. How can we make him bad? Right, well, he's got to go beat up a bunch of kids, brown kids, because otherwise he makes really compelling points and the audience is going to side with him. So interesting, but this is the year that I think that the far right is pretty much going mainstream in this country, actually. Elon's takeover of Twitter and the return of far right figures, which happened in November last year, that set the stage, I think. And,
we've sold out.
Yeah, I know, it's been great. Finally. So, yeah, moving on to more far right media. You enjoyed Hogwarts Legacy, didn't you?
Yeah, it was good fun. Got some good segments out of it.
This was your crusade.
Yeah. But I enjoyed Hogwarts Legacy as a cultural phenomenon because it really came and went really quickly. It's like a bunch of people played Hogwarts Legacy, even people who hated it, who felt they had to play it, or felt they weren't allowed to play it. And certain people who had no swag who didn't play it.
And a lot of modders got their mods deleted as well.
Yes.
F's in the chats.
Such as fixing voices to be more feminine. Which, yeah, that had to go.
So the TransMax Manifesto had made an impact on Hogwarts Legacy, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there is a synthesis between the two.
Bartender just wanted a better life.
So what was your overall impression of Hogwarts Legacy, the cultural phenomenon? Do you think it was any damage done to the woke left?
Did you actually play it?
No.
Did you actually play it?
I didn't play it.
Literally said at the start, not going to buy it, not going to play it, don't care.
Yeah, not even vaguely interested, but I am interested about the fact that you guys are spurging out about it.
I know Josh played it.
Well, the far left ended up all playing the game. That was the thing. They all joined a group saying that they wouldn't buy the game, and then on launch, all of them were playing it. So I was like, okay. I think the thing that reveals there is just none of their boycotts mean anything.
Yeah.
They have no stomach for ever having a slight uncomfortable moment.
That was another thing as well. We're going to boycott what is going to be the most successful video game in the Harry Potter franchise ever. Because, and millennials and Harry Potter, man, there's some sort of, I feel kind of bad for them. Right?
Can't go to a Palestine protest without a Harry Potter quote.
Yeah, exactly, right. Harry Potter is like, the millennial.
It's the filter.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's like in the same way that World War II is the worldview of the boomers, Harry Potter is the worldview of the millennials, right? It's like this is the thing that like is the frame around our civilization because we grew up with it, we loved it, and now J.K. Rowling is a Nazi. It's oh god, like, and so this. But the thing is, this is the sort of 10% of the population that is progressive activists who really care, and then you've got just the rest of the millennials just like, oh, I love Harry Potter. I'm going to buy the Harry Potter game. This is so fun. I'm a wizard. And so they're not connected to the political spurging of J.K. Rowling thinks women have XX chromosomes, right? And so I just really love watching the left take a massive L on this. I've got no particular interest in Hogwarts Legacy, obviously, but there was just no way they were going to overturn the giant tidal wave of normie Harry Potter fans. Basically it. I was happy with it.
My problem is it'll never be as good as PS2 Chamber of Secrets.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't give a damn about Harry Potter. I played giant mech games, man.
I have just seen there's a new mod for it on ModDB though.
Oh yeah, go on.
All white robes. I'm not even kidding. The description just has a smiley face.
I'm surprised that hasn't
that one's not going to be up there long.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it hasn't been deleted because
show it this way, Callan.
ModDB is very censorious.
They are.
So anyway, I really enjoyed Jeremy Clarkson on his farm this year, the beginning of this year, and one thing I loved about Clarksons Farm is how much it drove home to the regular British public, and these are the sort of native British. This is a very Anglo-focused series, and it really hit, I think, a genuine spiritual tenet of the Anglo civilization, which is petty government is just the worst. It's the worst. Everyone hates the local council because for some reason there's like, no, you can't have your farm shop. Why? A massive hubbub over nothing. It's just like, oh, well,
because if I go outside in this village that I'm only in for 10% of the year and look up, the farm shop might mean that I can't see as many stars.
It's not even that. I mean, look, you can see the farm shop isn't very high. And it's like, it's an area of natural beauty. It's like, no, it's a big muddy field, actually. It's not an area of natural beauty. Also, it's like 2 miles away from anywhere. So, like, what the hell is your problem? And it was so obviously the tyranny of petty bureaucrats. They're just like, oh no, we're the local cat. This is within our power. Finally, boys.
Finally, we can bully Jeremy Clarkson.
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to, this famous Jeremy Clarkson just rocked up. He's not on my watch. No. Boom. And so the whole thing was just brilliant.
Remember when he wanted a farm track on his farm so that he could drive down his farm and they said no?
Yeah, and it's like, has ever in the history of council planning a gravel track on a farm next to a field been denied? Like, what would be the reason? And yet, for some reason, the council like, no. It's like, listen, you little. And so you could feel there was a collective in the country, people who are like, I fucking hate the council. Because everyone's got the problem with the local council anyway, right? And I just want that continually layered on. Make normies know, the local bureaucrats are the problem, because they really are the problem. You were right about Ireland.
Aye. To be sure.
Very right about Ireland. So you presaged this in a couple of segments. And you had just some fantastic... There we go. Just look at that.
Lady. Shin Fein. We stand against Ireland.
Yeah, literally. It's like, who knew how... Again, it only took like 11 months or 10 months for it to explode in the way that it did. But you so called this, right? Ireland's dead. And this Sinn Féin is currently the governing party of Ireland. And this is what they posted in 2018, as you found. Ireland is no longer simply orange and green. Ireland is a rainbow of identities and cultures, a place where diversity and difference can be embraced. Ireland is changing.
I mean, it makes me think MI5 are running Sinn Féin.
Makes me think Northern Ireland is running Sinn Féin.
We saw the news. We're pre-recording this, obviously, but we saw the news just before we started that someone is being investigated for writing Irish Lives Matter
by Sinn Féin in Ireland.
I mean, the whole romantic Ireland is definitely dead if this is how they're going to go.
I just don't understand what the troubles were about if saying Irish Lives Matter is a criminal offence. No, I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah, sincerely.
Deadly serious.
All of our history is fucking pointless.
Like, if the Irish don't have a right to Ireland, do the British?
Well, the troubles was about how many North Africans they were going to allow in. I want a cap of at least 1 million a year. No cap at all.
Yeah, those goddamn British trying to make sure that Irish people did get to live in Ireland just under British rule. But I mean, literally, that's going to be the far right critique. It's going to be, but you weren't trying to flood the country with foreigners. Like, well, no.
You know how Sinn Féin are meant to be socialists and the IRA will align with socialist movements?
Yeah.
I am looking forward to next year, the IRA coming back out with their new single, except that they're going to be, just far right. And I want to see Sinn Féin denounce the IRA for being far right.
No. When the socialists have ruined the economy, the IRA are going to be walking with Maggie Thatcher placards.
Bring her back.
Literally, it's just, like socialism. The problem with socialism is you eventually run out of other people's money. IRA 2024. Just seriously, like absolutely bonkers. But yeah, no, you completely called the problems in Ireland, and it just. I don't mean to laugh because obviously terrible things are happening, and this is awful for the Irish. But A, we've been through this already, and B, this is just really backward and comical. So anyway, moving on. Jacinda Ardern went, so that was nice.
And now New Zealand is getting a right-wing coalition government.
Apparently so.
And the first thing they're doing is letting people smoke.
Thank God.
Which
Rishi Sunak says not much.
Some people, when I spoke about this, were very angry at the idea that they were allowed to smoke. But I say smoke. I say this isn't medical advice. Smoking is based.
But it's not mandatory, is it? Like the right-wing government isn't going in. It's like, right, you.
It's the mouths of 3-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly. So
Light them up.
this is what you get.
It should be.
All right.
That's again not medical advice.
Political advice.
Yeah, Rishi.
I want my state-mandated cigars, damn it.
I love the idea that you get into government and you stop the anti-smoking campaigns and start the smoking campaigns. There's just every kid.
I mean, you remember just how phenomenally totalitarian this woman was, where she's like, we want your only source of truth. I just took a random screen grab.
I'm also laughing that we go into some of the other videos and you two literally look the exact same.
Yeah.
And then I have gone through a glorious transformation.
You've TransMax, yes.
Yeah, well, I have grown a beard out, so.
Yeah. But yeah, Jacinda Ardern, I mean, just phenomenal how much of a tyrant she was. And I just don't know how the New Zealanders coped with it, really. Drove me mental. Anyway, so the next one is, of course, the woke coronation of King Charles. We saw that coming, and it did happen. And it was woke, which was insufferable. Kind of understand why Harry was like, I think this might be a bit weird. And finally, just in January, the Ukrainian refugees arrived in Britain and they were like, what is this? Are there any English people in England? And we were like, no. Actually, no.
Don't you love it?
Yeah.
And they went, no.
You're an immigrant. Don't you want to live with other immigrants?
They came here to marry Englishmen, damn it.
From Somalia or wherever it is. And it's like, yeah, but I'm from Ukraine. Yeah, but you're just immigrant. Get on with it. Are you sure? I don't really want to live around loads of Syrians. It's like, why? What possible objection could Eastern Europeans have to Muslims? Racist. So anyway, that was January. And yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe the year wasn't so bad, actually. There you go.
If you appreciated that episode from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go over to lotuseaters.com and check out the merch store. As you can see here, you could buy England Expects That Every Man Will Do His Duty sweaters. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Twitter at lotuseaters_com on Twitter. Thank you and goodbye.